Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy 21 Boy and Big, and we back at it with another video. Today we're going to do the red Veloster and we're going to change the rear brakes. A few weeks ago I changed the front brakes because the pads were literally like metal. Mind you, I bought this car like 4 months ago and everything is just coming at me at once. I fucking hate this. But the front brakes, I replaced those. I should have recorded, but it wasn't too bad. But it's just like the same concept. So I'm changing the rear brakes and I'm gonna record this time. So obviously the car's at the garage. I noticed the daily driver, but I'm trying to keep this car like stock until I obviously take off of my other career, because my other career involves less driving. So until then, this is the daily driver. We want to keep it stock as possible. This is how I bought the car. The car came with a bunch of shit, and I'm gonna go in depth with all the things it came with, and I'm gonna go into all the depth with like what it has now and what I changed and what I fixed, for fuck's sake. But yeah, let's get to it. Well, obviously you want to get the car, jack it up, or jack it up to get the rear brakes. To get to the rear brakes, I'm putting, for my car, it's kind of low, so I'm putting the fucking rams under it so I can get the jack under it, so I can jack it up. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Damn, boy, he's thick! Alright, so we got the car on the rams. I'm about to put some stuff in front of the front wheels, obviously, since the handbrake is in the rear, so you really gotta have support in the front with the parking brake. So I'm gonna do that now. Get some beat up ass wood, put it in the front of the wheels, make sure it's really stuck in the front. Okay, there's one thing I really hate about this car with a passion, and it's really jacking it up, because jacking this car up in the front, it's okay, but I do have to put it on the ramps to get to the middle, so I can have it like, so I can have a piece of wood just laying in the middle and just jack it right up. So I'm just trying to jack it up from the middle, and this plastic piece has to go because this is where you should jack it up from. All right, I finally took the mid plastic off, and it looks like this car has way more rust than my Subaru, and that's such a bad thing because this car is much newer than the Subaru, and this just sucks, bro, because this car has so much rust. The Subaru has rust, don't get me wrong, but it does not have this much rust. So we're gonna jack it out. The wood is gonna be like this, and it's just gonna, as you can see, it's connected to each side, and I'm comfortable with this being jacked up. So we finally got the car up. We got jack stands on each side. I got that wheel up. I'm gonna start on this side first. That's why this joint is going. So that's for extra support. Got that support, and that's gonna stay in the middle, and they're all like equally distributed with weight. So yeah. So now we are going to take off the rear wheel. I have an impact wrench. If you guys don't have an impact wrench, just get the, you're gonna have to loosen up the bolts before you fully jack up the car. But I don't like doing that, so I bought me one of these for $200. It is honestly the best investment you can honestly make, because you put it in. We have acquired the wheel lock key. We got a smaller size, all right. All the wheel locks is off, so we just, damn, hold up. There we go. Keep that right there. Just gonna take the wheel off with one arm because we're the Hawk. And we're gonna sit that under the wheel. All right, well, we got the wheel under the John, because this is a sketchy thing. But now we're gonna take the caliper off and check out the brake pad. So since we're only taking off this part, I decided I should just take off this part and not the whole caliper. I don't really need to take off the whole caliper. All we need is a 14 at the top, 14 at the bottom. And if you was taking out the whole caliper, you will need I believe a 17 millimeter. But yeah, so we got our impact gun with an adjustable part, so we could just get to this easily without having to have a hassle with that. So if you really don't have an impact gun with the big impact gun, I highly advise you get one of these things. They really make the job much easier. And instead of breaking bolts, stripping bolts, you have this, will easily break it off, or you just hold it for a few seconds and it breaks it off without breaking the bolt. It's so... Hold on. Now let me tell you, before you jump to conclusions, this gun will break a mean, ugly, rusty bolt. I'm telling you that right now. It happened one time out of the few months I had this gun so far, but it's amazing. I'm speaking off my experience. Don't get me wrong, these impact guns will break something, but I'm speaking off my experience. Remember that. Fucking amazing, honestly. So we're taking the whole caliber off because it's just acting retarded, or difficult if you don't want to use retarded. So I did end up taking the whole caliber apart due to the fact that it just wouldn't want to come apart. So I wasn't going to fight with it. I didn't feel like it, honestly. So I just decided, no, let's take the whole thing apart. I think it's a 17mm. I do believe so. So, you know, just you can have a breaker bar and do it. I don't recommend a wrench, but definitely a breaker bar would definitely break it loose. And so, yeah, I mean, y'all can see, still struggling. Use a mallet, definitely use a mallet. And as you can see, this disgusting, oh my god, that thing is naked. There you go, trash that, and you can continue with the life. And then finally the caliber when it comes out. See, look right there, yep, comes apart now. Finally this thing great, all good enough. This is all we need, honestly. So I'm gonna put this back on after I clamp it. You can sit right there. Sit right on the tire, so we good. So now we're gonna get the new brake pad and we're gonna put it on there. So I do need a new rotor, but it's not really showing any effects while driving. It's just a pad, but I will get a new rotor later in life. Because right now we just need pads. So, because pads, as you've seen, the pad should not look like this. It should look like this. All that meat, cuz. It should look like that. Like, that's not even cool. Like, no, like this joint is flat. Okay, so you're gonna want to have, first of all, a wire brush. You want to have a wire brush. Clean off this dirty ass. Stuff. Caliper lubricant, brake grease, basically, so it can slide right on and just not be a pain in the ass to take off later in life. Grab your new brake pad, make sure it's the right side, and the only way you can do that, well, you could just test fit it like a million times, but the only way I know how it's the right side is just get to look at the back. It's quite simple, they're different. So I kept one on, that's the old one, and this is the new one to the other side. So obviously, as you can see, they're the same. That's the right side because they're the same, and this is the right side because this is different. This is the other side because it's different. So just easily just slide that right on. Obviously, make sure you put it on the right side. There's no other way you can put it on, honestly, but, and just, it's a beefy boy. Just like that, it's on. So now you can see new caliper right here. I mean, new brake pad right here, old brake pad right there. So now you want to take this off and do the other side. like that, your brake pads is now brand new. So I'm just gonna test fit this. Will this shit go back? So this is the part where I kind of got stuck. Not really, but the rear brake pads and only the rear brake pads require a little cube that turns a certain direction to push the caliper back into place. I don't know how it works, but I just hear. Now you're just gonna want to put the pad back on. So under further research, that I thought I needed a C-clamp for, since the front you need the C-clamp for, I figured the back would need it too as well, like a normal car. But I looked at a video like a few months before I had to actually replace the brakes, and the guy used he used a flathead and a mallet. I wasn't gonna do that. So the special tube is like a cube. I'll put it up on the screen obviously, but it's like a cube, and you just put it there and you just screw it. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to the Advanced Auto Parts now to go grab that. I'm in the Subaru. The Subaru is carrying the daily driver. It makes no fucking sense. Like this is the project car. I got this car fixed one good time, and obviously I had to fix it myself with that. Well, y'all don't know, but a squirrel crawled through my hood scoop and chewed up a coolant line, and that's not cool. But I had to replace that coolant line, as well as the coolant line that was, when it came out the shop, it was leaking coolant, and I didn't know where, and it was like hard to spot that shit, but I found it and I replaced that. But other than that, this car is literally carrying the daily driver. It makes no fucking sense. Like, after I got the motor rebuilt, this car has been fucking flawless. It's carrying the daily driver. Makes no fucking sense. But we're gonna head to the store now in the Subaru, and I'll be back in the garage in a minute. Shit you need to get that caliper back on. Honestly, I don't like the fact that you gotta buy this extra shit just to do one job. That the front gotta be different from the back. Look. Yeah, so we're gonna go back home and fix what we gotta fix. So. Alright, so we got the tool. It looks like this. I got, oh shit. So I got obviously the joint, I got the extension, and I have the cube on it. This side goes the best with it, so we're gonna put that right up against here, up against the two notches. The two notches right there, the two notches right there, right here, and the other side's over here. So like, and just take your time. No need to rush. This shit hurts, by the way. This hurts the right hand so much. Just be prepared for some pain. That's just fixing cars though. So I push it all the way back to get it out the way, so I can just easily slip on now. So if I can just get a bit of grip in it. Here we go. All right, so it just slips right on just like that. Look at that, boom. That's why I always tell myself, you have the right parts for the right job, it will go by smoothly. And I didn't have that part, and I didn't even know that this cube was a thing. So just put your bolts back in and tighten it now. Put the other one. I'm gonna show y'all guys the bolts I took out, by the way, because I didn't do that. All right, so for this part, the inner part, it's one on the top other one's right there. And for the second part right here, this part, it's one at the top. I know it's a little dark. Alright, so with some light, this part, I'll show you again. This part is 1, sits at the top, 1. The other part is 2. I'm gonna continue to screw that in, by the way. And for this part, is this right here. This part, this is a 14mm as well. Both of these are 14mm. And the bottom part is, I don't know if y'all gonna see this, I'm just guessing. It's right, it should be right below, right here. This is the bolt right here. You can easily feel around, just feel the caliber, and you just see the only 4 bolts, 2 right here, and 2 at the top, right here. 2 at the top right there. So it's not really hard. It's not a hard job. Just get the right parts and get the right tools for it, and you'll be fine. And with the cube, make sure you have it going right. So like righty tighty, lefty loosey. Make sure you got it going right. So now we're going to tighten up these 4 bolts and make sure everything's all good and fitted correctly. And we're going to put the wheel back on and tackle the other side.
So that's going to wrap it up for today's video. This video is longer than usual due to the fact that this is an in-depth tutorial. I never really done an in-depth tutorial. All I know is I ended up with a lot of footage and this, that, and the third, blase. So this is an in-depth video for changing your brake pads on a 2014 Hyundai Veloster Turbo. The Velocitors are pretty much the same in brakes, I think. Don't quote me on that. But if you enjoyed the video and want to see more content in the future on the Hyundai Veloster and or 05 Subaru WRX, be sure to subscribe to the channel and or just stuff content, car content, whatever in the future. So I'm about to make another channel, 2 other channels. This is going to be like just anything type videos, anything type of content, anything I just want to make, car content, this, that, and third. That's this channel. The other channel is a day trading channel because I am a day trader, entrepreneur, whatever you want to call it. And my third channel will be a gaming channel because honestly that's all the things I like to do: game, be an entrepreneur, day trade, this, that, and the third, and or just, you know, do whatever I do with cars, this, that, and the third. So I'm going to have 3 channels. If you're interested in one of those, be sure to subscribe to the channel today and become, I don't know. But yeah, I'll see you on the next one.